In this video, we'll be solving the system of equations. Okay. Now, in order to solve the system, let's write in terms of a matrix. So for the matrix, the first column is going to represent the coefficients of x1. So here it's going to be 1. And the second equation, there is no x1, and that's why I put 0. And the third equation, the coefficient of x1 is 1. Then we move on to x2. We see it's 3, 1, 2. So 3, 1, 2. And then for x3, this is 2, negative 1, 3. So it's 2, negative 1, 3. And then the solution, or the right side of the equation, is 1, negative 2, and 3. So that's what I have there. Now my goal is to row reduce this. So I'm going to take the third row and subtract it from the first row. And the idea here is to make this 0. Okay, so I subtract, I do take the third row, subtract the first row. 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. The other two rows I leave alone. I don't touch them. Okay, now I'm going to take the first row and subtract it by 3 times the second row. And the idea behind that is to make this 0. Okay, so I say 1, row 1 minus 3 times 0 is 1. And then 3 minus 3 times 1 is 0. That's why this is 0. 3 times 2, 2 minus 3 times negative 1. That's 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then 1 minus 3 times negative 2. That's 1 plus 6, and that's 7. The second and third row are left the same. And now I want to make this 0. So let's add row 2 and row 3, and let's make that row 3. So it turns out whenever I add these two, so 1, negative 1, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 2, that gives me zeros here. So what that means is that x3 is a free variable. So we're just going to let x3 be some, say, variable t. And now I can solve for x2 and x1 in terms of x3. So looking at the second equation here, I have x2 minus x3 equals negative 2. I said x3 equal to t. So I'm just going to substitute that in. And then I'm going to get t minus 2 is x2. Okay. And similarly for the top equation, I have x1 plus 5x3 is 7. x3 we said is t. And so x1 is equal to 7 minus 5t. So that's going to be the form of my solution. And if you want to look at this graphically, the solution, the intersection lies on a line. So it's kind of hard to see, but I don't know, it kind of looks something like this. That's going to be the solution.